Alan, what went wrong in that second half?
We've just spoken about it. Our execution, our accuracy wasn't good enough in the second half. The game seemed to get away from us, a little bit flat, and we didn't take our opportunities. Felt our set piece, whilst we were winning it from the line out in the second half, was a little bit untidy, and we weren't getting on positive cycles, owning that gain line, getting speed of ball, and putting them under pressure.
What about being dragged into that extended kick tennis?
Yeah, there definitely was a degree of that, and we'll have a look at it. Probably if you look at the kicking battle overall, we came out on the right side of it. I think the extended tennis, as you say, was during the period when George was off. Then we go 1 point up, and maybe we tighten up a little bit, and we resort to the kick to get some position and play high up the field. But yeah, there were certainly times, and the majority of the times, when it was the right thing to do against a defence like that, particularly when you're down to 14 men. However, there were other occasions where we felt we could have gone.
How much of a blow is this to your season overall, given that it's extremely slim hope now of going through as a runner-up?
In the context of this competition, it's a blow, there's no doubt about that, but not to our season as overall.
Is that because the emphasis is very much on the Pro 14?
And I'm not going to talk about Pro 14 today. I'm really disappointed with our result, I have to say. The game was in our control, and we let it slip in the second half, and we've got to have a good look at ourselves in that regard.
Because on the selections, Worcester made 13 changes. You had quite a few of your top line players playing. Would you expected someone to step up a little bit more than was the case on the field?
I'm not going to hound individuals here in press.
In general.
But we also had a number of players who, it's their first European start. They have less than 10 caps for the Ospreys. So with guys coming out of the academy and club footy. So it's a team game. Yes, we had quality on the field, and we had some inexperienced players on the field. As a team, we weren't good enough.
What's the approach now heading to Po next week? Do you say that's it and just give fringe players a run out, or do you give some of the top line players another game?
I'll have a look at the group standings. 5 group winners and 3 best runners up. If there's an opportunity to go through, then we'll pick a selection accordingly. If not, we'll prepare for the week after.
Looks as though you'd have to depend on other results going your way over the final weekend, which, would you mean you have to pick your team before you know that, really, I guess?
No, not at all. I'll pick the team on Monday.
Okay. Any fresh injuries to report from that?
There are always bumps and bruises, nothing significant, so that's one blessing.
And in terms of your props, which has been one of the major areas of concern, any of them back for next week?
Again, we'll know more Monday, Tuesday in that regard. If there's one thing, at least the boys who are now playing, so-called third and fourth choices, are getting opportunities, and that's building up their calibre and their experience. And
a word about Adam Beard, who took a bad knock last weekend. How's he recovering?
He's still recovering from HIA protocols. Spoke to him yesterday, so there's still a way to go there.
And obviously you're not a medical man yourself, but it was nice to actually just see him up and about and on his feet at the training base this week.
Yeah, brilliant. So, but as I say, he's still got a bit to go.
Alan, is this a missed opportunity?
It feels like that at the moment, and that's a frustration. Probably spoke about that indoors in terms of growth of the side, how far we actually want to go, and why in that second half, maybe emotionally and not so much physically, but in terms of accuracy, we were off it.
There was a lot of frustration amongst the crowd in that second period. What were your thoughts on that?
Again, as I say, during that period, the frustration, which I understand, was at a time when we were down to 14 men. They were loading the front line, there was space in the backfield. We were getting good returns from that, So last week we get a penalty with the last play, or nearly the last play of the game, from a good box kick. George is underneath it, and that starves the opposition of a bonus point defeat. So you got to look at it in the context of the moment, and invariably it's the execution. You know, obviously we give a penalty away late on when we're in absolute control high up the field, and that's ultimately extremely frustrating for the whole group.
Scott Williams,
He's okay. Yeah.